This is another winning edition of Between the Lines presented by Continental Diamond. I'm Tatum Everett, that's Ben Leber, and it's now 10 wins for your Minnesota Vikings. And Ben, they had to do so in absolute, I have no words.
Dramatic
fashion.
The most dramatic fashion
ever. I
Yes.
know. No one, and we got the rose at the end of this one. No, I'm kidding. For all you Bachelor fans out there. But no, this was another one that came down to a fourth quarter, another game-sealing interception. The resiliency of this team, the ability to play under pressure. I'm holding my breath. What is it like on the field when in these really tight moments?
I mean, it's exciting because I'm not playing. I mean, I would have a whole different feeling if I had a jersey on. But it's so fun because you can just really feel the difference in energy from the first half, which was kind of sleepy, and then the second half, and then we start making some plays. You can feel the momentum, and then it's just like it's electric on the sideline with all the players. Not a lot of guys sitting on the bench. Everybody's up on the sideline, on the white part of the stripe of the sideline. You know, they just like are so antsy waiting for the next big play, whether it's on offense or defense. So it's really fun to be a part of.
You mentioned the differences, and there was a very big difference between that first half and really into the third quarter, and then that third quarter to the end of the fourth quarter in the offense and their ability to move the football. What did you see as a difference in Sam Darnold, who threw for over 100 yards there in the fourth quarter alone?
I just love the way that he's moving around in the pocket these last couple of games. We've seen that in little like instances throughout the season, but these last 2 weeks, so much more consistent, so much cleaner with his feet. You know, from the first half to the second half, I just thought his pocket movement, his awareness, the way he's able to extend plays, and then you see such a big difference when he hits that back foot, and then he immediately feels a little bit of pressure and steps up and finds a little clean window to throw from. I mean, he's dynamic. I mean, there's more velocity, there's more accuracy. You can just see that he's in tune more with the offense, and same with the receivers. They just seem to have this chemistry when he's able to move and bop around in the pocket.
The chemistry was very strong between him and Justin Jefferson today. JJ 1 yard shy of 100 yards on the day. When he was in really tough moments, he could rely on JJ. And from a defensive perspective, the way that they were covering this game, how was he able to be so productive today?
Well, you know, it looked like to me they changed a little bit of their defensive philosophy in the second half. They went a little bit more zone coverage, and Sam was just able to see Justin sit down in some of these zones. And there were little windows. Now, he made a tight throw right over here that it really was with the safety over the top, two defenders underneath. There was this triangle of coverage, but Justin sat right in there. And the ball from a air yards was probably 30 yards down the field. It was a strike. It was a bullet. It was accurate. It was on time. So I think just now the anticipation of understanding what the defense is trying to give them, and then trusting that Justin's going to be where he's supposed to be.
Now, this may be no shock to most Minnesota Vikings fans, but guess what, guys? Justin Jefferson hit another milestone today.
Another one?
Another one. He is now the fourth player in NFL history to hit 1,000 yards in each of his first 5 seasons, alongside A.J. Green, Randy Moss, and Mike Evans. The kid just continues to be amazing, and he really came through for this offense today. Let's talk a little bit about that final drive to put the Vikings ahead. What impressed you the most?
Well, again, I think it was Sam's pocket movement, the way that he was able to step up. I actually think that Arizona got a little too aggressive. They were really good in the first half, getting to the quarterback, when they would delay their blitzes. When they were standing flat-footed, the ball was snapped, and then they would blitz from depth. It really messed up our blocking scheme. It really messed up our count. But you could tell that the time of the game, the momentum, they understood the impact and the situation of the game. It made them more antsy. They were tipping their blitzes. They were trying to go all-out zero blitz, where they had nobody over the top, but they were showing it. They were like, they knew that we were going to get the snap off, and they wanted to time everything up to get to the quarterback. If they had just remained a little bit more patient, they maybe could have caught us off guard like they did in the first half, but they didn't. It allowed all of our guys to scan the field, pick up all those would-be blitzers, and then we made them pay for it. Because once we know what coverage they're going to be in, and once we know where the blitzers are coming from, Sam's deadly.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the Vikings team, or the Vikings offense, wasn't on the field for as many minutes as the defense, I would say. It was almost an 11-minute disparity in time of possession. So the defense was gassed at this point. Where did you see, when they're out there and they're tired and they're still trying to make plays, you saw the Cardinals kind of make that final drive like it was getting close. Where do they dig deep to figure this out?
Well, our red zone area, because it wasn't always right at the 20-yard line. We just got much more constricted with what we were doing, and we played so much faster. And I don't love this about our defense, that we're such a bend but don't break. But man, we were really, really good today in that red zone area. The one thing that they kept getting us on was they were rarely into third down. They had 25. Arizona Cardinals had 25 first downs. 20 of which, those chain movers, happen on first or second down.
Wow.
So they weren't even getting to third down. So, we've got to do a better job on first and second down. But then, especially when we got down in the red zone and they would make some plays, we just bowed up on the defensive front. Our coverage gets tighter. It makes it a little bit murkier for Kyler Murray to throw the football, and that was the big difference in the game.
Yeah, Shaq Griffin with the game-sealing interception. Byron Murphy added one as well. Awesome to see him do that, being an Arizona native and a former Cardinal. Getting that, and it almost felt like that play sparked a bit of momentum in this team, like a belief that we're going to go and we're going to win this game by 1 point.
Well, I tell you what, though, until that play, we weren't getting a lot of pressure on Kyler. We weren't forcing him into any mistakes. And then finally, we were making him move around a little bit. We're making him panic. That's the one thing that Kyler did really, really well throughout this whole game and really this whole season. He's not panicking. He looks very composed. Even when he gets pressured, he still has his eyes down the field, always looking to make a play. And for a large part of this game, that's what he was doing. Quick throws, decisive, confident. But as the game wore on, our blitz package, I think, was starting to get to him. And that interception that Byron had, that was all a result of finally getting some pressure on Kyler. And Kyler just threw the ball up there. It was kind of a moonshot. It was as good as a punt as long as there wasn't a big return. So that gave us a little bit more confidence on defense that, we can finally affect this guy throwing the football.
Kevin O'Connell in his press conference talked about how they are situational masters, and it's something that he's brought up a lot this season. And it's funny that he brought that up because I'm not sure if you heard this stat from the Fox broadcast crew. Only coach in NFL history who currently has a better record than Kevin O'Connell in one-score games is John Madden.
What?
That's what they said. To be a situational master and to win these close games despite being down and out, or even what happened last week with the Bears, what do you think, or how do you think that can carry on throughout the season and maybe into a playoff run?
We all know the playoffs, every game is going to be tight. And, you're going to have to battle back from adversity, whether it's putting the ball on the ground the very first play of the game, even though we recover. Next couple of series, we put the ball on the ground in our own red zone, basically, and we give the ball away. Having those situations in a playoff game and not getting down on ourselves and saying, hey, we're going to tap on that same guy later in the game to score the game-winning touchdown, catching the ball in the backfield. So it's that sort of confidence and resilience that, we're going to make corrections on the sidelines, but we're not going to break your confidence in this game. Individually, as a unit, as a team, they always believe in their players, and they go out and prove it time and time again that they're going to lean on some of their best players in some of those moments, and our guys are rising up.
Well, it was wonderful to have this win back here at US Bank Stadium, the Vikings' fifth straight victory. This is the third game that's going to be here in this building in the next 16 days. So we get tons more of Vikings football, and up next, Kirk Cousins and the Falcons. It's going to be a good one, Ben.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be electric.
Yeah, it's going to be electric. Kickoff is set for noon for next Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in to Between the Lines.